Welcome to 108 Gate. We're doing the masculine reading for awareness. So done the feminine reading, it's up and you can check that out. For now we're doing the masculine reading. There's been a very distinct division of feminine and masculine energies, with the intention, with some of it being about seeing how it works or doesn't work, and how the feminine energy may be hindering the masculine energy. Remember, within yourself, your yin, your yang, your anima, animus, so that it can be more harmonized, so you can feel more whole and feel more integrated. Work on things that may not be integrated as well as they can be. So for now, we're doing the masculine reading, and the cards are flipping around, feeling very, very alive, very talkative, very matter of fact, very different to the feminine cards. The feminine cards felt very subdued, as if you've already seen the feminine reading, you'll know what I'm talking about. That they felt subdued in a peaceful and calming way, whereas the masculine cards feel a little, even as far as frantic, very busy, alive, frantic, needing to calm, needing to have more of that subdued feminine space. Right. Ooh. Okay. All I can hear is heads are turning, heads are turning. So under the realization for the masculine energies, we've got King of Swords. Right away, as these realizations are coming in, it's about... Oh, this is so... I love it when it happens like this. The feminine energies are subdued for a reason. It's bringing calmness to the masculine energy, bringing in some awareness to the masculine energy, that just going, running in and just charging into certain situations after a realization, because of a realization, is not going to be productive, is not going to be helpful, is not going to be achieving the long-term goals that you're focused on, that we are wanting to focus on, that we are wanting to achieve. So the bigger goals are achievable, and then that's what the very feeling and very nature of the feminine energy was. These realizations are about what's going and what's gone, and what has to be let go of, and what is letting go of it, and then have let go of it. The renewal is now entering and being aligned with those things that should have been, had you not been distracted from being your authentic, autonomous self. The focus, very line, was very strong. The very line, it keeps saying very line. The very line that divided you is the very line that will now allow you to be merging with yourself, be inclusive of yourself. It's not making much sense right now because the space in which it's in. But the feminine, masculine energy, very different. The masculine energy is not seeing this line, it's not feeling that very line. It's seeing is no lines, there's no lines, there's no boundaries, there's no whatever. If anything, any boundaries and lines that were there seem to just like gone poof and disappeared. That here, there is a feeling of anger, rage, insecurity, just wanting to just go and knock something away and out. The realizations are going to be bringing up some raw and very tender emotions, very raw and tender thoughts and realizations. I can't say it other than what it actually is saying. It's realization, the realization of someone not being as truthful as they are made out to be. It's going to bring in this King of Swords clarity, this that's it, the chop. So that feels like it's moving more toward assessing where the line has to be in a very practical, pragmatic way. The emotional part was something that could be withheld in the feminine space, and it's more private, more there's a bit more hidden about it, because as it's an emotion within inside, we can kind of retreat and keep ourselves isolated, and then that expression of that emotion doesn't necessarily have to be expressed. It's when we come in contact with certain people, with certain situations, that's when the expression of an emotion, the expression of something is more forced, and it's more prominent, that it's going to be coming out. However it's going to come out is now what you're mastering in your masculine energy. So the awareness of certain things, the awareness of what once may have been hidden, what once may have been misunderstood or misconstrued, or rose-coloured glasses. The rose-coloured glasses are falling again. It's like the tint on the glasses is getting less and less and less, so therefore you're able to see more of the truth, more of the truth, more of the truth, more of who people are, more of who people are not. Therefore your construct within yourself, the construct of yourself in a certain situation, societal, group, social construct, whatever you want to look at the construct as, micro systems, macro systems, your place in those is going to be shifting and changing on a practical level. What this means for the individual, it means a lot of shifting and changing. This is definitely the Saturn, the current Saturn space, because it's going to be at it's at the 0 degrees of Pisces. Pisces still has Neptune in it, so all this delusion or misunderstanding, or kind of the illusions of certain things, are just getting a bit of a slap from Saturn. This is a really, really intense, very opposite energy to the feminine energy. So let's keep going. Here we go. Like I said, the awareness of certain things is going to bring about realizations, and looking at yourself in the mirror in a very different way, looking at the world in a very different way, looking at how things are being conducted, what things were said. Things are going to come. I don't want to bring this energy in, but this is the energy that's there. It's like a very haunting energy. The Scorpio influence right now is very strong. It's a haunting energy of things being very dark. The darkness is there, and it's going to be, you've got to cut through the dark. You've got to cut through the lower energies of the dark, because dark isn't always bad. If you think about night time, you can have solace in the dark, in the night time, with the stars twinkling and the moon out or not. You're going to have a certain peace in the night time, in the dark too. So I'm not talking about that kind of dark. I'm talking about the negative, the lower frequency, lower vibe energies that we may have had to encounter. And it doesn't feel like it's restricted to one lifetime. This feels like it's very much, again, like Akashic kind of records vibe, very much past life, generational, ancestral stuff going on, and the cards just want to keep going, keep going, keep going. We had Judgment in the feminine reading too, exactly in this similar spot over here. So exactly in the similar spot, that's kind of contradicts itself. In a similar spot over here, so there was more cards in the feminine, it was over here, so maybe we just keep it here for now because it feels like it wants to be there. The judgment of all this needs to be really careful and particular. Judging self, how have you judged yourself in relation to when you weren't aware of certain things and you weren't in realization of certain things? So your judgment of yourself then is going to shift to who you are now. You're going to be able to see more value within yourself. You're going to be able to see more value in what you were attempting to do, what you were trying to do. Others seeing that value in you or not, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant at this point. If they can see it or not, it's beyond your worry or concern. It's got to the point of the realization, and the awareness is going to be the catalyst for renewal of your commitment to yourself, renewal of your commitment to where you wanted to go and you weren't allowed to go, you weren't allowed to be, you weren't allowed to enable yourself to do certain things, be certain things. So now it's that renewal of what should have been what could have been can now be. So that's why I hear certain things about should have, could have, would have, and it's like it's dismissed. And it's like, I don't dismiss it, because it's like if those should have, would have, could haves are coming up, they're coming up for a reason. It's not, I don't believe it should be dismissed. I believe it should be utilised as an indicator of, well, should have, could have, would have. Bring in certain aspects of, like, there's something that's not complete, there's something that's feeling incomplete, or it's feeling like it's gone an incorrect direction, or it's not, it needs course correction. So those should have, would have, could have, when people say you shouldn't go into the should have, would have, could have, it's like, well, that's all well and good once you've processed it. Now you don't need to go back into the should have, would have, could have, because then that's just holding on to what should have, could have been. But when you're feeling that I should have done this, I could have done that, I would have done this, acknowledging that, processing that, and then allowing that to help you to evolve and move into a direction you want to be heading into. All of it has a purpose, I feel, most of the time. Well, if it's not there, it doesn't then have a purpose. If it is there, what is it holding on to? What is needing to be processed? What is needing to be realised? What awareness needs to come in? You should have, you couldn't have then, but you can now. I would have done this. Well, if you would have, maybe you will, just not then. There's always a different way around it. There you go. Should have, would have, could have. That's what that's vibing as. Switching it around. Would have, could have, should have. Well, let's do it then. What is it that you wanted to do? What is it that you would have done? See yourself, like I don't remember if it's in a reading or if it was in some. Anyway, there's some conversation or some reading or something that's come up in the last few days about if you're in that would have, could have space, if you're looking at things in a particular way. What was it? It's gone. Two of Wands, shifting things up. That's a really strange energy with this card. I'm going to keep going because it's dancing around. Let's go here. There you go. Queen of Wands, being active, proactive. Right, so it's related to this one, but I can't just click the two together. Interesting. We're going to get an oracle for here because it's a very strange vibe. It's gone really dark, raining lots around here. Assertiveness. Excellent. And here, desire. Would have, should have, could have, assertiveness. Well then, were you being assertive enough to actually enable that to happen? It may be simply that you didn't have what it needed for you to make sure it happened before, but now you can. Now you can. Being assertive, allowing the desire for something to be come in, to let it reawaken, renewal. Like I said, in the feminine, it's not about a matter of reevaluate and reassess all that stuff. It's literally awareness, realization. That's done. That's gone. I'm going into the space of where things didn't happen and could have happened, that you wanted to happen, that needed to happen, that should have happened. Allowing that to come in, rejuvenating. This has gone. There was something I was going on about. King of Wands. King of Wands with the Queen of Wands. This is meant to be now a part of the functioning of things happening, the function of things being in process, the function of self in relation to would have, it can be, should have, I shall do it. Would have, but you can now, I will do it. Shifting it and changing it in your favour, in alignment with where you're heading. That's pretty much what the Two of Wands is. making sure that you do those things in the ways that you wanted, letting go of what was stopping you. It's not going to be an easy ride, this one. A lot of it is deep. It's very subconscious. There's a lot of subconscious stuff going on here. Rise up, stand stronger, and be true to yourself. Be stronger. Queen of Wands, King of Wands, bringing in that strength to make things happen, bringing in that strength and assertiveness to get the ball rolling and get the wheel turning, get the momentum building in the correct manner, in the correct way. Two of Wands is the shifting of should to I shall. Could have, I can. Would have, I will. Very powerful energy in this. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you are looking forward to the next reading, because I can feel the momentum building for this. So for now, peace and love.